Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 9 Japanese cruiser, Ibuki. It has 10 main guns, 8 secondary guns, 66 AA guns, 16 torpedoes, a top speed of 35 knots, total health 39,000. For my modules, reduce crit chance to the main battery, increase main battery accuracy, increase main battery range, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, concealment. For my commander, situation awareness, basic survivability, basic firing training, faster turret traverse, superintendent, demolition expert, and concealment. We are on the map The Atlantic, and this is already awesome. Our spawn could not have been better, in my opinion, for my playstyle. We're going to head for C. It's the closest point, and I think it's the most exciting point. A lot can hinge on coming around an island and finding yourself in the open against another target. Being in a Japanese cruiser, I pretty much hard counter any destroyer that might go to sea. I fully expect that one will. There's 5 on the enemy team. Where else would they go? Now, the first way I like to outplay a destroyer is to make sure that I'm paying attention to situation awareness. That's vitally important, especially around islands. It will tell you if you have the advantage or they have the advantage. In this instance, if I was spotted coming around this island, I would know that a destroyer is already in the area that I'm headed, and I need to be careful. Since I was not spotted, situation awareness might come up in 2 to 3 seconds. That would tell me that a destroyer probably was rounding an island right in front of me, and I could generalize their location. It's really important. You watch for the point if it's starting to be captured. This is all great tells to figuring out their general location. You're not going to know exactly where they are, but as long as you have an idea, you can run them to an island, run them to your friends, or you can avoid contact with them, force them to have to sail to catch up. Most of the Japanese destroyers in particular are pretty slow, honestly. They can't overtake you quite like Soviet destroyers, and now we're scouted. Okay, so someone came out from behind an island because we're out in the open. There's no reason for us to immediately be detected other than the target is now in range. But he's not in range to capture the point. So I expected the torpedoes to come somewhere from right in front of me. Now there's an enemy Amagi, and our aircraft was able to scout that for us. We're going to send our torpedoes before he has line of sight. I would send them either way, but the advantage of sending before the target can view your ship with his own eyes is that he's probably not going to get any tell whatsoever that you have dropped your torpedoes, and we land. Nice damaging shot. 2 fires, 6k damage roughly. Probably going to force out. Yeah, definitely forced out his damage control because it was 2 fires. Now our flood will be more effective. Our follow-up shots with fire will be more effective. This Amagi is overextending. This is very dangerous for him. He only knows that I'm here, and I'm trying to be as angled as I possibly can. He is continuing to sail directly into my torpedoes. Looks like we're going to get at least one, and it got a flood. Second one, nice. So we did 19,000 points of damage, caused flood. He's going to flood out. I'm not going to allow him to live long enough to benefit from damage control again. Now, a flood's great, but a fire plus a flood is even better, and the Magi continues to miss with his shells. We do get that fire, and we're doing around 1,200 points of damage in dots alone. Friendlies are probably adding on to that. This guy is melting, and there's nothing he can do. There's absolutely nothing he could do. He just overextended into a bad situation. Now, the enemy's going to capture C, but we get at least 1 battleship, which, quite frankly, we need. We've already lost 3 friendly ships, and we get the kill. Yeah! That enemy destroyer is somewhere out there, so I'm going to head forward with the Des Moines. Yes, the Des Moines spots the gearing. We take the gearing out. That's a big deal. Now, he's only 10 kilometers away. Very reasonable shot. Don't ever be afraid to fire on these destroyers. You can do it. I'm not using any crazy manipulation of the code. I'm not hacking. I'm just looking at the target. I'm seeing that he's moving away on the minimap, and I'm elevating my gun accordingly. You do need to lead it a little bit more than the average ship because they do move faster than the average ship. But you notice we're doing significant damage. The Des Moines is able to finish off the target, and we have basically cleaned out the enemy from the sea side. But look at the game, okay? We've lost 4 ships. We don't have any points, and most of the team is funneled into sea. Quite frankly, we didn't need every single ship at sea. It felt like 5 is overkill, maybe 3. 3 would be a good number. The other 2 could play in between B and C. But none of that matters now. We've got to deal with what is given to us. First things first, capture C. The next thing I was looking at, the Izumo and the North Carolina are sort of overextended considering how many destroyers are out there, 4 more. They can't afford to be isolated. They need a cruiser or a destroyer. Oh, look, all of our destroyers are dead. I don't know how that's possible. You don't overextend and kill your destroyer. You're completely worthless to the team. The best thing you could do in a bad situation is leave. It's too early on to risk the ship. So since we don't have any destroyers to screen for the battleships, we have to use the next best thing, cruisers. And my particular builds are concealment builds. I'm basically a large destroyer. The ship's detection is around 10, which is very good, considering you're going against ships that have twice that detection in many cases. It's probably one of the reasons they don't want the Mogami, especially with the 155mm guns, to ever be good, because it just hard counters destroyers so much they can't react. It's much better to have a light cruiser have terrible detection, so those destroyers have plenty of time to avoid contact with them. It's their fault if they're caught out at that point. So it looks like the North Carolina's head for B. I want to get in front of him. Obviously, he's a tier 8 in a tier 10 match. He's not that useful, but he is a part of the team. He can provide DPS. He just can't take any damage. Oh no! A destroyer already got his torpedoes in the water. The North Carolina didn't sail unpredictably. He's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. He dies to 4, and he would have taken a 5th one and died. It must have been a Shimakaze. There's 3 sets of 5. There's no other ship in the game that can do that. So I'm going to read it as a Shimakaze. If it's something else, we'll deal with it. A Shimakaze has terrible guns. When you compare it to US and Soviet destroyers, clearly it can stand on its own in the right situation. So I'm not afraid of the gun system. He's got to rearm. Torpedoes aren't going to be an issue. I just need to hurry up and detect him. And there we go. I don't know if this was the one, though. He's out of position, but I'll take it. He is in trouble. And we get 7K with our first salvo. He pops his smoke, but we are on the other side of the smoke. As long as he continues to move, we will get chances to detect. And yes, we do. His propulsion's knocked out. We do another big shot. 7 of the 10 made contact. Probably 5 to 6K worth of damage. He's down to 1 more salvo. Please stay detected. Please stay detected. Come on. Oh, he's so dead. No! Friendly gets the kill. I'm happy he's dead, but let's be honest, okay? I did like 70% of his health. An enemy Udaloy is firing on my position. Interesting. There's also Azal out in the background. I don't know if he wants to fire on me. He's full health. He could do whatever he wants. But at this point, I was hoping that if I held my fire, then nothing would be within 10 kilometers of my ship. But apparently not. There is something out there, a destroyer perhaps, that is within 10 kilometers other than the Udaloy because he is in his smoke. So we send our torpedoes at the last known position for the Udaloy. We need to stop the capture rate of the enemy team. This Mogami is very low. I did not want him to run away, so I don't care about kill stealing, okay? We gotta kill him. We can't allow him to just go to the edge of the map and survive. We need every point we can get. And I don't care that I was taking fire from the enemy. I'm stopping their tick rate. Even if we're not successfully capturing the base, a friendly lands a big shot. Just barely not enough. Someone follows up, great. Okay, well our salvo is relevant. And we finally drop off detection. We'll freely be able to capture B. I'm hoping my torpedoes will be successful. I don't think he's caught sight of it. And it looks like he's actually firing on the Izumo, still in his smoke. So come on torpedoes. It would really be awesome if you're able to take out that destroyer. Oh, yes. Sweet justice. See you later, Udaloy. And we finally have an advantage. We have more bases than the enemy team. We're going to still lose if we don't do anything, but there's something there, right? So the Izumo, he's still on fire, but it's not that bad. Now we are detected, so that tells me there's a destroyer somewhere close, within 10 kilometers of my ship at least. Now where could he be? Well, he could be in front of us with the Zhao, who I think is actually run aground, or he's trying to be cheeky. You don't want to be cheeky, okay, buddy? Yeah, you have a tier 10, but that doesn't mean you know how to use it. And that's the key bit of information. I'm going to head with the Izumo. I'm hoping he will continue pushing towards A. We still need to capture another base. We can't win unless we do something. Now, I'm not detected anymore. We haven't recently stopped firing, so it has to be distance related that we actually dropped off. That's weird. I would have thought that the enemy destroyer would be somewhere around A. I'm going to lead the Izumo into A. Oh, okay. We found it. He's actually going towards C. That is a strategy that I figured he would probably do, or one of them would try to do, is recapture C. Now, I warned my team, someone needs to go back and defend C. I cannot afford to. I'm the most far forward player on our team. I want to get into A, stop the capture, and fight the Zhao. I'm not afraid to fight the Zhao. Yes, in a perfect world, the Zhao is better than me. But I have backup behind me, and I like to think that I can perform rather well on a Japanese cruiser. It is my highest captain, by far, by about 2 skills. Thanks, Mogami. I loved my Mogami. So much, I didn't grind it at all. Not a single second of grinding. Every single game was fantastic. So this guy's got to play it correctly. He can't show his side. He can't send out torpedoes predictably. That's not going to work on me. Not in the least. He also can't expect that AP's gonna work. And he makes the first mistake. He's showing a lot of his side. Now, initially I was going to switch to AP, but then I noticed he's actually angling away from me. We do 5.5k with HE. No fire, though. And we stick with HE, of course. He has a ton of angling, obviously. He's moving away. AP is not effective. He misses with his first salvo. I do notice that the Des Moines is really low, and he tries to fire on me, but I angle accordingly. I do open myself up to him, but he misses. He misses high. He only takes out either a secondary or an AA gun. We try and get all of our guns into firing position. And again, I'm doing pretty consistent 3 to 5k. He's firing AP. He's too greedy. I do look to fire on the Des Moines. I want to make sure he's dead. He's just too low to ignore, of course. We're trying to make sure our gun is in position, and Friendly is able to finish off the Des Moines. Don't need to worry about him. The enemy Zhao fires on our position. He incapacitates our third turret. That's okay. He's still showing a ton of his side. We could afford to go AP, but I just don't trust this guy. He hasn't fired for a really long time. My spidey sense told me torpedoes are in the water. You need to change your direction. And he did send the torpedoes out. The aircraft scouted out. No longer a risk of taking those torpedoes. Once they're scouted, they are visible for the entire existence of the torpedoes. Now, I did see a fire, but I think he put it out. So now he's going to be susceptible if we're able to get another fire on a ship. So he's moving to a broadside position. He's risking his ship. We're able to have good angling against his AP. For whatever reason, he continues to refuse to switch to HE. I think he's going to send torpedoes. I'm going to send my torpedoes, but I'm going to send my torpedoes with the expectation that he expects torpedoes. So you notice I put a set behind. He's going to turn away, and he's going to fall into the set that's behind the first set. We see his set. No issue whatsoever, not even close to hitting our ship. I'm going to remain with HE. He's got great angling, remember? He's susceptible to fire. So even if these torpedoes don't land on his ship, we will kill him. But he's making a mistake. He's going to go right into that back one. And we take out the Zhao. And that felt really good. We're very healthy. we were able to basically make the Zhao look a little silly. That's not really fair to him, but you can't fire AP against a target that has good angling. You fire it once, you see, oh, okay, he's not going to show a side. We'll switch to HE since our ship excels at it. It's not like it's a German Hindenburg. It's the Zhao. It's the best HE platform in the game. It will just wreck you. So yeah, it's just like, okay, easy kill. For me, friendly Izumo is in close range to the Yamato. And I don't think he's going to be successful. The Yamato is the one ship in the game that can overpenetrate the bow of battleships. Now, I don't know what he expects to do, but I'm sure it didn't include taking 35,000 points of damage at close range. And is he going to die? Oh, yes, he's dead. Oh, I'm so shocked. The Izumo dies to the Yamato. But does that mean everyone's going to die, Notser? Oh, it's the scary tier 10 battleship. No. We are not afraid of this guy. We know that he just used damage control. We have Demolition Expert. We're going to spread that fire all over his ship once the immunity wears out. And I'm going to make sure when he's not looking at us with his guns, we're going to have all 5 turrets in position. We get a fire on the backside. He has 2 of the possible 4 locations on fire. We confirm that he fired on a friendly. And we're going to continue, as long as he's not paying attention, to maximize our damage. We could use our torpedoes, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. And yes, we got the fire on the tip, and the friendly gets the 4th position. Now he's taking 1k damage a second just from fires. That is a significant portion of his health, and it's dropping rapidly. He is going to fire on our position. I'm going to cut to the right as soon as I see him firing, and that's exactly what I do. I'm hoping he misses with the first set, he misses with the back 2 sets, and he's going to just die. There's nothing he can do. We've earned Confederate, we've earned high caliber. Who's going to get the kill? And I think he burns down. We get the kill on the Yamato. It feels good to take out a tier 10. Not take any damage, by the way. Just saying. Just saying. And look at this game. This game was awesome. It looked dire. We probably lost 5 ships in the first 5 minutes, but in the next 13 minutes, we only lost 4 other ships. And part of that is we stuck together, focused down the targets that were the biggest threat, and continued to cascade through all 3 points, capturing all of them, not leaving a hint of chance for the enemy team. Now, the game is over, but I would have loved a chance to go after that destroyer as well. But a score like this will suffice. 600,000 credits, 11,000 XP earned, high caliber Confederate, 4 kills, 3,656 base XP. That's a base XP game. I felt like it was good, but I didn't think it was that good. That's a crazy game. We did around 160,000 points of damage. We used everything but AP. Come on, Notser, you gotta use AP. I love the game. I hope you love it too. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time. By the way, there's going to be a bonus Armored Warfare video today.